Shalom Akim, Shalom Yasharallah. First off, I'd like to say, Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Nathan Mashanakabad La Hazakwanyam Shal Yasharallah, Wa Shalawam, Wa Ahab La Bakayar Shal Yasharallah. This is Brother Izar, and I'm going to be going into the scriptures, talking about how the Lord is not all about peace, man. The Lord is about the work being done. The Lord is about getting his elect. The Lord is about getting Israel ready, you know? So I'm going to start off with Matthew 10, verse 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. Right? The Lord did not come down to send peace, this love doctrine that these heathen want you to start believing, man. They didn't come down so you can be loving everybody, you know, so you can be going off. Because the wicked are gonna be given to their own devices, man. They're gonna be given to their own wickedness, man. So you know, it even tells you in the scriptures how you can't walk hand in hand with somebody that's opposed to you, man. Can you walk with someone that's against you? No, man. You guys are gonna be going against each other. So you guys part your ways, right? So Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, he came to bring that sword, man, to split people up. He didn't come here to grab everybody by the hand and sing Kumbaya. You know, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai are here for the elect, for their elected people, which pertains to Israel. But now all Israel is Israel, man. Because some Israelites are still going to have that Edomite, that heathen way of thinking, that spirit that is against the men of the Lord. So that's who the Lord is coming back for. He's coming back to pick up his elect while he destroys the rest of the people, man. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and a man's foes shall be they of his own household, man. So people are going to hate you for this truth. Persecute you, make fun of you, your own mother, your own father, your own sister, your daughters, mother-in-laws. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. People in his own household. What happened to Job? Job was a righteous man. And see how everybody in his household, they all went off, man. People that came from his household, they all went off. His kids, they all went to their own houses. You know, they're still of Job's household, but Job knew how they were, and he knew that every weekend they were sinning. And then his wife, she went against the Most High. And then his friends went against him too. So the Lord did not come here for the elect to spread this love doctrine that the Christians want to be spreading. And they failed, man. They failed miserably. You see how this world is? See how wicked it is? What good did Christianity do? It did nothing, man. Even the Christians themselves are hypocrites. So that's who the Lord is here to divide. He's here to divide uh, his good people and the bad people. Those that do the work and those that are slothful and don't do the work. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. If you love your mom more than you love Yahweh Shai, you're not worthy of him, man. If you love your job more than you love Yahweh Shai, you're not worthy of him, man. If you love your cars, if you love anything of this world more than you love Yahweh Shai, you're not worthy of him. He that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. What happened to our father, man? What happened to our forefather? Right, when they told Abraham to take his son Isaac and kill him, sacrifice him. Who did he love more? His son, whom he had waited for? Or did he love the Lord? He chose the Lord, man. And he was about to sacrifice his son when the Lord sent his angel and told him not to. That's how you show faith, man, through your works. Like it states in the scriptures, faith without works is dead. Just like the body without the spirit is dead, so is faith without works. So he that loveth, let me read that again. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. He that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. He that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me, man. You have to bear this weight of the Messiah. You have to bear this weight because we're not greater than our master, man. The servant is not greater than the master. You know? So we have to bear our cross, man. He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. For the brothers that pretty soon gonna be going through some tribulations, some persecution, Salakia. We're gonna be going through persecution. We're gonna be going through some tough times, man. But we have to be firmly grounded in our household, man. And that household is what? The brothers. The brotherhood, man. Under Yahweh Shai. Right? We don't want to be found like that house that the Lord was talking about. That house that wasn't planted right, man. The base of that house wasn't planted on good ground. And what is that good ground? That's the foundation, man. Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he have understand doctrine? That doctrine, man, that's our foundation. That's that sound doctrine. This truth for Israel, for the ones doing the work. So if you find yourself finding your life, seeking your life, man, you're out here worried about this world, you're going to lose it in the next life. But if you're out here losing everything for the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, you're going to gain your life in the next life. And that life is forever, man. That's going to be a kingdom that's going to be ruling forever. So from there, go to Matthew 25. And it's going to be verse 32. And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another. So all nations are going to be gathered together. Right? And who is that peculiar people? Who is that group of people that he chose amongst all the families of the earth? The Israelites, man. And he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. So he's going to be separating his sheep from all these heathen, his people from the heathen, those that have been doing the works. And a goat could never be a sheep, man. A goat could never be a sheep. He can disguise himself as a sheep, but the Lord will find him, and he will separate him from his sheep. So for the brothers out there in the highways and the hedges that may look like the other nations, you could never do the work unless you were an Israelite, man. Unless you have your faith, you have your works. And unless you're an Israelite, you won't be allowed to have both of those. Or else you'll be a goat. But these brothers are found as sheep, because they're out there doing the work. So for the people that are carnal, saying that these brothers that look like the other nations, because they might be of pale skin, because they don't look like Israel, like Judah, you know, they're going off, man. Because you can never be a goat and turn yourself into a sheep. So when the Lord comes back, he's going to be separating those sheep and those goats, man. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them in his right hand, Come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. Right? That's exactly what the Lord is gonna do, man. He's gonna separate you heathen from the Israelites. And by you heathen, I also mean you Israelites that are asleep and they don't want to wake up, man. They're the ones that are rejecting this truth that is being given to them. We don't know who the elect are, right? And all we could do is observe, like the brothers in I forgot where they're at, but those brothers were talking about how you have to be vigilant. You have to be watching, man. You have to be if you're gonna bring the scriptures up. The brother talked about how first he talks about things of this world, and depending on how the people react to those certain things, then he'll start throwing in scriptures. Because if they don't believe things of the earth, how much more things of heaven, man? Just like the Lord had said that too. You know? So he's going to have his sheep, his people on his right hand, and the goats, those heathen, on the left hand. And then shall the king say unto them in his right hand, Come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. From the beginning of the world, man, everything was already set in stone. He declared the end from the beginning, man. And then it goes on talking about how us brothers have to be with each other, man. For I was hungered and ye gave me meat. Man, you're not supposed to. If a brother's hungry, man, you not only spiritually feed him with the scriptures, but also literally, if that brother's hungry, man, help him out. I was thirsty and you gave me to drink. Again, not also spiritual, but literal. I was a stranger and you took me in. You know, and for that part, quite literal, that's pretty hard to do, because out here in this world is way too wicked, man. That's why that love doctrine doesn't work out here in this world, man. Because they're not spiritual. Spiritually speaking, the way that I see it for myself, whenever I was a stranger to the brother Yebataza, you know, he had the same hat as me, and I looked at him and I remember, I was like, damn, man, I can't wear that hat anymore because that guy has it. So I stopped wearing that hat. You know, I never said anything mean to him or anything mean behind his back. I just kept my peace. But I was a stranger to him, man. And he was a stranger to me. I didn't know him. He didn't know me. But, you know, he was vigilant. He was watching. He's always observing, you know, and that brother brought out the other day that people would think that we're bug outs because we're constantly looking around, you know, kind of watching our back. It looks like you're bugged out, man, but you're not. You're watching. You're making sure there's nothing going on. People aren't watching you. They're not talking, you know. You're being vigilant. Well, that brother, since I was a stranger to him, and we started speaking little by little, you know, through the power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai that brought us closer. And he started speaking scriptures. And I remember back then when I would speak scriptures with someone, I would always fight. I would always fight them, man, because I believed I was right. I believed my doctrine was right. You know? And that's how I always was with people. But when this brother started speaking to me, I had to shut up, man. I had to shut up. There's no other way that you could do it, because when you see a man of the Lord, you could tell right away, man. And when I saw the brother Yabatazar speaking, I knew I had to shut up. I knew I had to listen. And I knew I had to learn from this guy, man. So when I started learning from the brother, it reminded me of this right here. I was a stranger and he took me in. I was a stranger to that brother and he took me in, man. He took me in and he started teaching me, you know, and started leading me a certain way, and everything just started clicking. And I started seeing IUIC, and I saw them and I was like, no, that doesn't sound right, man. What they're talking about doesn't sound right. So I was going through and I was studying, and then the first brother that I came across was Kazak, from his channel. And I told Yaibataz, I believe that the next day, the brother Yaibataz, I told him about Kazak, and I told him what channel I was watching, and he smiled and he said, that's them. You know, because I was searching after the names, and I couldn't pronounce them correctly, or I didn't know if I was pronouncing them correctly. So I started looking on YouTube, started looking on the internet, making sure I was pronouncing them right, and that's when I came across that brother Kazak. You know, but I was a stranger to all of them, man. Salaki. I was a stranger to them, and they took me in. You know, I had no doctrine, man. I was being deceived by myself, man. I was naked. Verse 36, naked and ye clothed me. I didn't have that doctrine, man. Put on those beautiful garments. I didn't have that beautiful garment, man. I was naked, and those brothers clothed me. I was sick, and ye visited me. I was in prison, and ye came unto me. And that's beautiful because it's spiritual and literal, man. Pertaining to the brotherhood. You got to be there for each other, you know? So from there, I'll go to Luke 14, verse 25. We'll start off at 25. And there went great multitudes with him, and he turned and said unto them, If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brothers and sisters, yet and his own life also, he cannot be my disciples. Right? Further saying what Matthew had said. And whosoever doth not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. For which of you intended to build a tower sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he hath sufficient to finish it? So the brother Yabatazai had told me before he even started, furthering my teaching in this knowledge, in this wisdom, in this truth, which led to understanding. But before he continued, he told me there's a price to learning more in the scriptures. It comes with a price. And man, I was ready for it, you know. I knew I could possibly lose everything I loved. I knew I could lose, say, a kid. I could lose my wife. I could lose my job. I could lose my cars. I could lose everything I own. Salakia. But I told them, I'm ready to lose whatever I have to lose, man. Because the first thing that came to my mind was losing my family. Of course, I didn't know the scriptures back then, like what I had just read in Luke 14. You know, unless you hate your mom, your dad, your family, you can't be with a disciple of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But he had told me that basically telling me to count my cost, man. To sit down and count my cost. Are you ready to lose in this life to win everlasting life with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai? Do you have sufficient to finish it, man? And I was ready, man. I was ready. There's a lot of people that just want to follow that truth, and eventually they'll fall out, man. And those are those sheep and those goats, man. Saying this man began to build. Oh, Salakia. Let me go back to verse 29. Lest happily after he hath laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him, man. How embarrassing would that be? When you start building a house and you can't finish it because you don't have enough Salakia, what is it called though? Enough tools, equipment. You don't have enough brick, things of that nature. When you don't have enough of something, man, people are gonna laugh at you. So for people that are in the truth, and really, like the brother Kazak had said a while back, they never were really in the truth. They never really had faith. If they fell out, they were always of the world. But You don't have enough to finish something, man. It's, you're an embarrassment. That's denying the Lord. And when judgment comes, the Lord's going to deny you. They're going to begin to mock him, saying this man began to build and was not able to finish. And that's how a lot of our people are, man. They'll listen to this truth and they'll start running with it. And after a while, that they get bored. So they just go back into the world and start doing whatever they were doing before. But that's where the patience of the saints comes in, man. We have to be patient, Like the brother Yebatas I had mentioned a while back. Man, watch those animals, man. Watch how they are. Look how patient they are, man. Because they're waiting for that return too. So we have to wait too. Saying this man began to build and was not able to finish. Or what king going to make war against another king sitteth not down first, and consulteth whether he is able to with 10,000 to meet him that cometh against him with 20,000? Do you have enough of what it takes to continue, man? Because if not, the Lord is going to bring that sword, and that sword is going to divide you from the ones that could. So from there, let's just go back to Matthew. Go to verse 21. Yet had he not ruled himself, Salakia. Let's start at verse 21. Yet hath he not ruled in himself, but dureth for a while. For when tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended. And that's how people are going to be, man. Going to be offended. And this truth is not for everyone. This truth isn't like Christianity that random people can just go in whenever they feel and please, and go to a church and sit there and listen to that pastor talk about peace, talk about love, because that's what the Lord said pertaining to Matthew 10, verse 34, where it says he's not going to bring peace but a sword. It's that division, man. But people want to talk about how they're going to be they got to be nice to each other. They have to be peaceful. They have to be at peace. And if you're being good with the Lord, you're going to be blessed, and you're going to have more money, and you're going to have more things. That doesn't make sense, man. How is the Lord going to be chastening his children? If and bringing you these things, man, like Job went through. Real quick, let's go to Job 5:17. Behold, happy is the man whom God correcteth. Therefore despise not thou the chastening of the Almighty, man. So how is the Lord going to bless you if he's going to be chastening you in this life, man? That's something that people don't want to hear it. They hate you. You become their enemy because you tell them the truth. They hateth the man that rebuketh at the gate of the city, man. Just because you go out there to the highways and the hedges like it's commanded of you, and you rebuke people, and you spread the gospel, and that the gospel is the good news pertaining to Israel. These people don't want to hear it, man. They hate them. They hate those men out there, man. And they'll smile, and they'll drive by and they'll wave. But if they stand in front of those men that are speaking those words, real quick are they going to realize what it's about. And they're going to hate it, and they're going to walk away, man. They're not going to like what it's about, because it doesn't pertain to them. And for those people saying that we have to spread this lovey-dovey doctrine, that we have to love everybody, love one another, that's not true, man. It's not true like they want to see it. It's only true to how Yahweh Shai have set it up to be. To this doctrine, the true doctrine, the doctrine that the elders at Great Millstone have told us and passed down to us. So starting off at Mark 4, verse 17, and have not root in themselves, and so endure but for a time. They endure only for a time, man. Afterward, when affliction or persecution ariseth, which is going to be coming real soon, man, for the word's sake, immediately they are offended. So they're going to leave all this. They're going to be sellouts, man. And these are they which are sown among thorns, such as hear the word, and the cares of the world, this world, and the deceitfulness of riches, and the lust of other things entering in, choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful. That's what a lot of people are becoming, unfruitful, man, because they care so much about this world and the deceit that the world brings, man. You can't serve two masters, right? You can't serve money and God. Who do you serve, man? Do you serve Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai? Do you make time for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai? Or do you make time for everything else, and your number one priority is Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai? You can't serve two masters, because eventually you're going to hate one. You're either going to enter back into the world and you're going to hate the men of the Lord and the Lord, or you're going to enter into Yahweh's world and love the men of the Lord like brothers, like real brothers, showing real love, reproving each other, man, helping each other, pushing each other to do better, to get up and fight. And then you begin to hate this world, man, because who does this world belong to? Let me finish off in verse 20. And these are they which are sown on good ground, man, such as hear the word and receive it. When I was with that brother Yabatazai, and he didn't know me, I didn't know him, and he started speaking that word, man, I received it. I understood that was the man of the Lord. No judging, I knew that he was a man of the Lord, and I received what he was telling me, and bring forth fruit, some 34, some 60, and some 100. And that can go back to that parable about the men that received talents, man. How fruitful are you, man? Are you gonna be like those men that just dig that talent in the earth? Or are you going to be like those men that go out to the highways and the hedges and they continue the work, and with those words they influence certain type of people that go up to those camps, and it'll stay in their heads, man. That's bringing forth the true and rightful fruit, man. That's that correct doctrine that these people don't understand, that these people want to mock. Those are the ones that are unfruitful. You know? So, from there, let me go to John 3, verse 16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. How do you believe in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man? How do you show your faith? How can you show that you believe? Through faith, right? How do you show a man, not a man, but how do you show your faith? How do you show Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai, that you have faith in both of them, man? Through your works, man, your deeds, what you're doing this on this earth. What are you doing to show that you believe in them? You have to respect them, man. How do you respect Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai? You do the commandments, laws, the statutes, the commandments. You love one another. You love the brotherhood. You're there for the brothers. Right? For God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. And that's not talking about peace, man. Right? Because then we go through Matthew 10 and 34. Think not that I came to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. So what is that division that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai came down to do? Is dividing those sheep and those goats, man. And you know what? I think it was 10, 8. Might have been 8 and 10. It's lucky. Therefore will I give their wives unto others, and their fields to them that shall inherit them. For every one of them least, even unto the greatest, is given unto covetousness. For the prophet, even unto the priest, everyone dealeth falsely. For they have healed the hurt of the daughter of my people slightly, saying, peace, peace, where there is no peace, man. There is no peace. But these people wanna say that there's peace, man. Peace on earth. And that's what people strive for. Peace on earth. You know? There's not gonna be any peace, man. Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they add sin to sin. So what are they doing, man? They say they're taking cover in this so-called Jesus Christ, right? Into the image of Caesar Borgia, this Edomite man, this heathen. They're taking cover. They're saying they're being covered by this doctrine. But they're not covering, man. They're just adding sin to sin. What do these Christians do? They obviously worship in Christmas, right? And that's one of the biggest ones in Jeremiah 10. Hear ye the word which Yahweh speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith Yahweh, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. And then it goes into how Christmas, the Christmas tree is, man. It talks about your works be in vain, man. So who is the sheep and who is the goats? You know? Because the Lord will bring division to the sheep and the goats, man. So with that, Akim, I want to say Shalom, Salakia. Hope that was edifying, you know, to the 12 tribes whom this really pertains to. James 1 verse 1, James, a servant of God, of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, right? A servant of God and of Yahweh, Salakia, a servant of God and a servant of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Greetings. Just like Romans 9, right? It's talking about those Gentiles, man, those sheep. Who are those Gentile sheep? They're still Israelites, man. You know? Like it talks about in Matthew 10, actually. These 12 Yahweh Shai sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not into the ways of the Gentiles, and into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, man. That's to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, to the 12 tribes, 12,000 out of each tribe. Those are the 144,000 men. There's no other nation that Yahweh had dealt with but with Israel, man. So with that, to the sheep from the tribes of Israel, I want to say Shalom, saying this truth, man. You know, be as harmless as a dove, but as wise as a serpent. Because tribulation, Salakia, the Jacob's trouble, that time is coming, man.